Listen, I'm your man, Ron Love, and with me is none other than the General Attorney Greg Jackson.
Once again, it's on, Brother Love. You know how we get this thing started for you, man. How's this past month and a half for you, man?
It's been crazy, but it's been the same way for you. But you know what? Before we go there, Brother Jackson, you were just hipping me to this, what they call it, meta world.
Yeah, so listen, Doc Polite, remember this, you said, give us some catch me, do me glasses. I can't say what they really call them when we went to basic, but catch me, do me glasses.
So, birth control?
No, not the glass they used to give us.
Birth control glasses.
You know, yeah. So that ain't what we call it. We call it something else. So we'll go offline on that one. But yeah, something like that. But anyway, so yeah, these ain't the catch me do me glasses. These are my my Ray-Ban Meta display glasses that I'm wearing right now. So
Doc, he's in here. I put him on, and he's in here doing his finger, and I see different menus. I mean, boy, that's like some secret agent stuff.
Yeah, that's the James. You know, he always on the cutting edge of James Bond stuff.
No, but listen though. So also, let's say, for instance, if I'm standing to somebody and they speak Spanish, I can tell it to start live translation, and it'll translate what they're saying. And I can see on the screen exactly what they're saying.
Yeah. Hey, I like that.
And I can go to live AI and ask any question I want to. Doc, give me a question. Any question.
Who holds the most debt for the U.S.? We just talked about this off air.
Hey, Meta, start live AI.
Oh, he just talked to it. Doc.
Huh?
I hit this. Okay.
Hey, Meta, who has the most debt in the U.S.?
The U.S. federal government holds the most debt, over $34 trillion.
The U.S. federal government has the most debt, over $34 trillion.
You know, hey, technology, Doc. Hey, Doc, do you see him over here going through the menus with his hand?
No. Okay, I see it now.
But you know what? Technology can't do this like Attorney Greg Jackson can, but can you tell our listening audience who they're listening to this evening?
Oh, wait. Hey, Matter. Should I tell them who they're listening to right now? I better say yeah. All right, now you tune in to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on a Monday night podcast. Brother Love and who are you? You Brother Love, my baby. I ain't said it so long. And we got Doc Polite. We got Brother Armando in another room. And this is two of the most influential voices, hardest working men in podcasts.
Don't forget that IQ piece.
Stuff, and you raise your IQ, but again, I got to do it now because I got my meta glasses.
Hey, put on those glasses. You can work.
Hey, I can't afford no metal glasses. Metal glasses $500. I have to get me some howdy doody.
Now, listen, these are howdy doody glasses. But listen, all jokes aside, you tuned in to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on a Monday night podcast. Brother Love, Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo guaranteed to raise your IQs 20, sometimes 25 points, Brother Love. When we got the meta glasses, we're going to take it to 30.
Hey, I got to get this stuff.
If you want to be a part of the night show, all you got to do is use those Twitter fingers and hit 407-921-6195. Again, that's 407-921-6195. We got a special guest in with us tonight, Brother Love, but for now, we got to let's
get it on. Hey, man, you know what? Now I want to throw these away because they're not talking to me. They're not showing me nothing, Doc. They just glasses. But at least I can see.
But let's catch up with our brother because we ain't talked to him. Well, I haven't talked to him in over a month. So what's been going on in Attorney Jackson's universe?
Special assignment.
I mean, mainly getting ready for trial, doing trial, resolving cases. But today was an interesting day. I don't know if y'all remember, but I went to trial over in Levy County back in December. We prevailed in that case and everything like that. And defense counsel was upset that we won because we weren't supposed to win that one, according to them. So they filed a motion for new trial. And I had to drive over to Levy County today to have that motion for new trial heard. And so I'm happy to report to Let's Talk Nation that I once again prevailed.
Congratulations.
The judge said that not only did he deny their motion for new trial, but we're entitled to attorney's fees and costs in the case. And so they're going to be paying way, way more.
Hey, as a matter of fact, speaking of that, hey, Doc, why don't you go ahead and run how if anybody's in need of a good attorney, and Greg specializing in
everything.
I'm
just kidding. Personal injury cases and things of that nature, slip and falls, motor vehicle accidents, negligent security, wrongful death. I mean, pretty much anything along the bodily injury, personal injury
You know,
stratosphere. That's what I do, man.
But the interesting thing is, I go out to different places, and then people come up to me and thank me for the referral. And Doc, I told you one time I was out at this restaurant, and this couple came up to me and asked me what's your dinner bill, because you took care of us a year ago. And I recognized them, but I didn't recognize them. But when they said you referred us to Attorney Greg Jackson, I said, hey, look, that's the man. But Greg, also, Doc, if you would, what's the number that people can contact you?
So you can reach me at 407-564-6604.
Well, I want to talk about the politics over there where y'all stay at. We need to get you. We need to get you.
Well, we need to
get Greg out there running.
Man. I mean, it is getting down,
man. So, how far did y'all get into the election from 2 weeks ago?
Well, we got into the election with one of the pieces where Commissioner Anderson went, full throttle and talked about the conspiracy,
and that was involving Nick Nestor.
Correct.
All right. What about the results from the election?
We did well. We let everybody know that individual that we supported, and we don't look. I mean, Brian Nelson. I got to say, this guy, his heart is with the city of Apopka.
Yeah.
Ain't no two ways about it. And,
Yeah.
Just proud of what he's done for that city, man. And ain't no two ways about it.
Now, I will say, all right, because Brian Nelson and my relationship is a very interesting relationship, because I actually ran against Brian Nelson back in 2024 when I was running for county commissioner along with 5 other individuals, I want to say. And, he got into a runoff election in that race. And after he and I had some conversation, I saw that his heart was for the community. And that particular time, that was for District 2, Orange County. I actually got behind him and I supported him. And when he ran for mayor of Apopka, got behind him and supported him in that regard too. So I have a very deep respect for Brian Nelson. Very sorry to see that he couldn't bring it home, for this election. I think that Apopka is most certainly losing the gym, but I know that he will stay connected to the community. So.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well,
and so
they're going to have to figure it out, because one thing that they have absolutely lost is people with integrity. And that's going to play huge, because are these people coming in going to be the people you can count on to put the community first? Yeah. And based on many of the things, the ethical issues that surround both of these candidates for mayor, it's very questionable.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. So, and that has caused quite a bit of question, because the 2 individuals who have been left standing, one, Christine Moore, current Orange County District 2 commissioner. The other is Nick Nestor. He's a sitting commissioner in the city
with 2 years underneath his belt.
Yeah, 2 years under his belt. Edenville just elected a mayor, a young lady who has 0 experience on the council, and I'm sure she'll do fine. She has some good folks behind her. But here's the big question, brother, because people have been asking me this. Because shortly after that race, how people start jockeying and doing things like that, and trying to see. People are trying to figure out why in the heck, and I'm like,
I know where you're gonna go.
And listen, I'm gonna ask the question, because I who I am. Why in the heck is Brian Nelson getting behind Christine Moore?
And you know what? Here's the response that I'm gonna give you the take, Greg.
All right, and there's a lot of people. I'm telling you, a lot of people listening.
And the take is, there was a time, Greg, that we used to sit back and I'm gonna just say it, look at the best of the best, and now. And I hate to say it, man, we're in a situation that we got to look at who can impact and help Apopka the best, even though, and I know you and I had a conversation, and I would just use the same word you used with me. Decline.
Yeah, pound sand.
And so I get it, and I get it and I respect it, but then there's some trudging that has to take place, man, and whether I'm not even gonna say whether you like the person or not. Right now, man, it's getting down to the nitty gritty in terms of what's best for the city.
I ain't going for with it, right? I ain't stirred up no mess.
You haven't stirred up any mess.
I'm about to stir up some mess tonight. Listen, ain't no way.
I know what you're about to say.
Ain't no way on God's green earth can I ever get behind Christine Moore. And anyone who hears my voice And if you take anything that I say seriously and you hold me in any form of regard, high, low, middle, sideways, otherwise, if you ask me, there's no way that my support could go behind Christine.
So where do you go? Let me.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh, listen.
I know you. I know what you. I know what you're
And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Hey, Doc,
wholeheartedly.
let him finish. I want to, because I know this is a classic. What Greg is going to say.
It is a classic what I'm about to say. Because for me, if I look and I see there's nobody that I like, I don't go with the lesser two evils. I don't go
You
with
just
anything.
don't go with anything.
My right to vote is no one's right to my vote. And so I will literally walk into a voting booth and I'll look at it. And if I don't like anybody, I'll turn it in with nobody's name circled, because I refuse to be a part of that foolishness. So neither. And I started to do something to make you and Brian mad. Because you know how I get.
I know how I get.
I say, Doc, I said, I'm a stir the pudding. And I say, I ain't gonna do that because then it goes against who I am. Because I started to say, let me give Nick Nestor a call and see if my voice can benefit his campaign. But you know what? I ain't even playing that game. So nobody, I don't like either one of them. Neither one of them.
All right, Doc, we're gonna pivot to you. Because
again,
I'm not gonna get my friend going.
Again, he's absolutely right. You have to look at integrity. Just think about this. Y'all remember Bo Jackson, right? We all know the famous Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
So I was doing some research for the show today, and I came across a story about Bo Jackson. Remember, Bo Jackson was supposed to be drafted number 1 by
Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
right?
Yep.
And Tampa Bay told Bo, "Yeah, we're gonna draft you," and you can still play baseball. Well, he asked them, "Well, did you check with the NCAA about my eligibility to continue playing baseball?" Well, they told him, "Yeah, we cleared everything with them." Now, this was back there when the NCAA really controlled.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him $17 million. He went ahead and worked out for him and agreed in principle. And when he did that, he found out because he did that, he lost his eligibility.
Yep.
And he said he would never play for Tampa Bay because the integrity mattered more than the money.
What he told him, Doc? He said, you draft me if you want to. He said, you draft me if you want to.
Oakland, right?
And he left, and that was at that time that was the most ever offered to a rookie. And
Let me ask both of y'all this question, because I am compelled to ask. But when somebody that you support don't win, we're not agreeing that we lessen the level of accountability for who does win, right?
Right.
We're not saying that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, because that is what I'm compelled to do. And I mean, I respect Greg. You gave me the decline, I think, 3 strong times. No, twice. I didn't ask you a third.
Yeah, I think you barely got that. And I
barely got it out that
I knew you were going.
Hey,
nah.
So you know I respect where you're going, but here's what I will say. Because the candidate that I supported did not win, I'm not going to lessen the level of accountability that I'm going to put on whoever gets in that seat.
But listen, brother, love, and I've said this privately and I've said it publicly. You and I, we get paid different ways.
Yeah.
And so I can do and I can say certain things that Brother Love better not say at times. So for me, listen, I can say 2 cheers in a bucket. I ain't got time for none. But I understand that my friend in the arena that he has to deal with. I mean, listen. So I respect
and that's the beauty
but
of
Greg Jackson, though. Greg Jackson can say and do whatever he wants to, and that's when I say I will never, ever support Christine Moore again. Because I supported her one time before.
I remember you told me you laid it
I supported her
out.
one time before, and I did it because she was running against somebody who double crossed me, and I owed somebody a double cross. That's what I did.
Hey, Doc,
and I told him.
And you know what? And I listen. I know the type of respect he did have for her.
Yeah.
And I know that him saying this, Greg saying this, he don't say stuff like this lightly.
I know.
And so that tells you the severity of what she did.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, man, I was getting attacked all on social media Remember, our good friend
Yeah.
Fred Brummer got behind the person that was running, and
Yeah.
I reached out to my friend Fred Brummer. I said, Fred, you about to lose this one.
Yeah.
You
You're
about
right.
to lose
You're
this
right.
one.
Was that when he was coming back? Was that when Fred was coming back for re-election?
This was 2018. 2020?
Well,
Yeah.
you know, only thing I'm gonna say, because I mean, y'all see, I haven't gotten enthroned in this thing because Brian was my guy. But hey, let me do some rapid fire before we bring our guests on the show. I'm gonna move away from that topic. Let me do some rapid fire. Hey, gas prices.
Oh,
Greg, Doc,
they're ridiculous.
what's your thoughts? I mean, for regular gas, you're talking about $3.99.
Yeah, someplace.
Man,
And we don't know where it's gonna end at.
all I know is I'm paying my taxes on my land tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go shop for me a mule or a horse.
Oh, mule or horse. Okay. Along with rapid fire, March Madness.
Yeah. It's been one major upset so far. Well, one of the upsets, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. The game that I saw on Friday was UBC beating UNC.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't even.
Yeah.
Did y'all see?
Yeah.
Did y'all see the 7'9" kid?
Oh, University of Florida. Yeah.
Man,
Florida's one of the ones that bit the bullet, though.
huh?
Florida's
Yeah.
one of the teams that bit the bullet.
on a last minute shot. So
Hey, Kansas as well.
Yeah.
Kansas with St. John.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
That's right.
and like I said, rapid fire, Robert Mueller.
Well, former FBI director,
He led the Russia investigation too,
I
right?
remember.
two-time decorated war hero, served in Vietnam.
Purple Heart.
And all of that. The only thing I can remember is what Trump said this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Hey, you go that decorated and purple. All I remember right now is what Trump said this weekend.
You know, I wouldn't say that. Even when President Trump croaks, my feelings would be for his family. I can personally dislike the man, but I would honor him as a president and as a husband and a father.
Didn't he say something
And
about George?
to hear him, I'll tell you this: to hear him say that, I was very
Wasn't
disappointed.
that bad. I mean, I don't know what he said, but he bluntly came out, and I'm agreeing with Doc.
He said, "I'm glad he's dead."
Yeah,
because he chases that. He goes so innocent people won't go to prison.
But what I'm trying to figure out, what was it that he said about George H.W. Bush? He said something. It wasn't that bad, but it was kind of kind of fried the mouth on that.
But hey, McCain has been going a long time. He's still talking about McCain.
Maybe it was McCain I'm thinking about.
Oh, but what he said about McCain is that he don't like heroes that get caught. Remember that?
Oh my goodness, I remember, man.
So hey, last couple of rapid fires here. LeBron James holds the record right now for the most NBA games played by a player, and that's 1,612. And I was just telling Armando, he's still above average as a player.
Who, LeBron James?
Yeah, you don't think he above average as an NBA player?
Oh, you mean like in his later years?
I
thought you were saying like in the grand scheme of the conversation, he's just above.
No.
And I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I ain't gonna take that. Okay, all right, I got you. Yeah, he's still playing that.
And so he's somebody that came into the NBA from high school.
Yeah.
So this record is going to be pushed out there for many years to come.
I mean, I think right now LeBron James is just playing. I think he's just playing the time game because he knows nobody wants to stay in the league that long. Kobe Bryant could have easily have done more, but he was just like, listen, it's time for me to pack it up, go home, spend time with my family, do other things in life. Magic Johnson was the same way. Larry Bird was the same way. I mean, these guys, they're not like trying to stay in the NBA to have the most games anybody ever had or the most points and all this other stuff.
And he got some records out there playing with the only NBA player. Is he the only one that played with his son?
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing now is he wants to push that record even further out and to be able to play with his second son in the NBA.
See, I mean, he's doing personal stuff.
Correct.
We might well shoot for the grandkids.
For the grandkids.
Yeah.
Okay, grandkids. Hey, last but not least, the Straits of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil, and I didn't know this, Greg. I know you and Doc stay up on this stuff, but 20% of the world's oil comes through that strait.
Yeah, and right now it's being locked up because of what's taking place over in Iran. I think that gas prices will start to go down a bit because it was announced today. Because initially Trump gave them 48 hours to do something before he started bombing their infrastructure in or near the Straits of Hormuz, and so they've come to some type of deal. So hopefully that will positively impact fuel prices here in the upcoming weeks. But the thing that concerns me more than anything else right now is that we are still in the midst of the second lockdown in less than 3 months, and we have TSA folks that are. I mean, they had over 400 TSA folks to quit this last week alone because these folks
Haven't been paid in a month, right?
Well, it's going on a month now, but yeah, it's going on a month now, and it's ridiculous right now what Congress is doing, Republicans and Democrats, because I hold both sides accountable for what's taking place to these hardworking people that they're just trying to make a living.
How much longer do you think or you anticipate this going on? I know you don't have a crystal ball, but
I mean, they're trying to work something through. I think that something will be done within the next 7 days, maybe.
Okay.
My hope is that something will get done within the next day or two, if not tonight. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, well, tell you what, to our listening audience that's joining us, and we have a special guest for you this evening. Doc, if you take us to a commercial, we're gonna do something, man, and we're gonna roll somebody in here, man, and the audience is gonna really be captivated by this individual. And Greg and I, as well as Doc knows this person personally, and he almost opened up a new show on the last show. 5 minutes before we was gonna go.
5 minutes till.
Yeah.
Hey, these my peeps, man. These my people. So.
And great person. So we're about to bring on the show. As usual, you or Greg do that introduction because Doc, I know which side you leaning right now. So take us to a break, man, so we can get that person in here.
Joe's European Quality Auto Repair.
Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Jaguars, and Porsche. Joe's Quality Auto Repair specializes in European cars. Joe's Quality Auto Repair is located at 1240 State Road, 436 in Altamont Springs. Stop paying a king's ransom for your foreign auto repairs. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair, mention Let's Talk Nation, and he'll beat certified dealership repair quotes by 30%. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair at 407-409-6040. Again, 407-409-6040 for the best affordable and guaranteed European auto repairs.
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Nation. We told y'all about a special guest, and you know what? I'm good. Hey, Mondo, where those applause at, man? That's what I'm talking about on cue. Hey,
Hey, my sis, what's going on?
How are you?
You got Steve? You got Steve with you?
that's on demand.
Oh,
Okay.
that's okay.
Hey, so
You
Greg,
got Steve with you?
Look.
Hold on. Let me catch up. Where's Steve at?
He's outside. He's in the other room.
Oh, you're in the other room. Tell him stick his head in here.
Hey man, ain't nobody got time for you to be doing how to do the moments. What's wrong with you?
Hey, do you want to make the introductions?
I'll shut it down.
Do you want to make the
I know where you live.
Hey, we got an attorney in the room.
You got to do
All right, go ahead. Let me shut up. Okay.
Hey, great. You're scared that to go to Tallahassee. Hey, so Doc, because and you know what? I've known Shannon for years. Greg, you've known Miss Shannon for years. But Doc, we're gonna go ahead and pass the baton to you to make these introductions, brother.
This wonderful lady right here is the product of another amazing woman. Her mother, Evangelist Woodson. Shannon and Steve are pillars in Orlando. They have done tremendous things. I am so happy to see her taking her talents and her skill to a next level to help continue to help the people in Orlando and Orange County. And I can tell you they would not have a better servant leader in Shannon Curry.
Well, Miss Shannon, welcome to Let's Talk Nation. And you are the first candidate for the new District 7. See, a lot of people don't realize that Orange County added 2 additional seats now.
That's correct.
And so you got out here early, though. You got out and said, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Actually, not as early as some. I think when I jumped in, there were already 8. you
Oh,
know,
wow.
but for me, this was a really important decision.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just my decision, it was my family's decision.
Mhm.
And that played a huge role in my timing.
Well, you're queuing up the first question for us
Oh,
then.
okay.
The first question is
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
You know, when opportunity is there, it's important. And I have been serving in the community for many, many years without the title, without, you know, even having a seat at the table. And so it's been really, really important for me to ensure that resources were available to community, and that we have leaders who are unapologetic in doing the right things, and being mindful of the needs of their communities. So my why is that it was time,
Okay.
and there was an opportunity there for me, and I couldn't blame it on the kids because they're all grown and out of college. So it's like, well, here we go. Let's go and take that next step in my desire to continue serving, because I'm not new to it.
Let me ask this question, because, and you're absolutely right. When you make these decisions, because I've been in this seat myself before, and that's how we kind of ran into each other's paths and different things like that. But what is that conversation that you have with family? That when you're like, I think I want to do it, but what is the conversation you have with family that finally says, this is the time?
Yes, you know, that responsibility of public servant isn't personal. It's the entire family, because your whole family contributes to your success. And the conversation for me was, first, there's something I want us to pray about. You know, we want to take this before the Lord and make sure, because, you know, Vincent was talking about, you know, how I was raised, you know, and my mother was always a God-fearing person. And so I don't do anything without prayer. And so the conversation was, you know, here's an opportunity, and I've been ready for it. And the timing, I can't avoid it. It's there. And once my family and my husband said, let's do it. And then it was right. And then you start making the phone calls and doing that. And what really affirmed that this was right is the responses that I've been received. Like, finally.
So what kind of feedback have you been receiving from people that live in District 7?
Yes, it's been that we are so happy that you're the one, you know. And after a few times hearing that, I kind of had to sit back for a minute and say, wait, hold on, because I don't want to take that for granted. But I've continued to hear that people were saying, I'm so glad that you are the one. And I've had some people say, I don't know who you are. Then great, you're the one I want to talk to. You know,
you're right.
So I don't run away from those opportunities. But that's what I've been hearing from within District 7 and outside of District 7 is, I wasn't going to do anything in the race until I saw you. And that's been the feedback.
So for those who don't know the new District 7 and what makes up District 7, what areas are we talking about?
Yes, so the broader part of District 7 is the Pine Hills communities. I think that's north
population of about 65,000 people alone.
Yes, and then we jump over West Colonial and pull in Orla Vista. So we do pull in Orla Vista and then work our way back up. And we have Maitland, we have Eatonville, Lockhart, the Rosemont area, College Park area. Very, very unique.
Yeah, that is an interesting
communities. Very different, very different communities. So I think representation is really, really important.
And a lot of this, I mean, expanding the 2 additional districts was based on the growth alone.
I forgot Eatonville.
Did I say
Eatonville? Okay.
Because I was going to tell you, we said I got some stories about that. We'll talk offline.
Okay, yeah, we won't do that here.
Let me ask you this question, and I know I've gotten older, maybe I remember this correctly or not, but did you work as a legislative aide, assistant?
I did.
And see, I say that for a reason. I say that because you're looking at local government, but you already got a good snapshot, because if I recollect back in the day when I was in government, you understand those policy processes. You understand the appropriations process.
Yes,
so this is a new depth at the local government standpoint, but you've been there.
I've been there, and you know, being able to lead a district, it really goes beyond I just like you as a person. It's, can you sit at the table and do the work? And my legislative experience as a senior, as an aide, you know, you don't get to the elected
You got to go through the
aide. So I know how to gatekeep too.
Exactly.
You know, but understanding appropriations, budgets, policy development, you know, how to reach across party lines, how to pull people together and resources, that is really important to, can you lead a community? Can you lead a district? Because you may not be in the chambers of Tallahassee, but you're in your local chambers.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. And you're having to be able to pull people together as partners and collaborators to get things done. And that, those many, many years of having that experience, I don't take that lightly. I learned so much. And even when, you know, you work so hard and it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, you still keep going. And that built a muscle in me that I believe just stayed with me and gave me the tools that I needed to do the things that I've continued to do.
And see, what a lot of people need to realize is when you are on the dais, people expect a great deal from you, but the other thing that some people sometimes don't realize is you're only one of a number of those votes. So your advocacy has to be that spirit of oftentimes negotiating and compromise so that your district can get what it needs.
Absolutely. You know, working with the county staff is really, really important. You know, some people don't understand that you're just one layer. You know, there are other layers. You know, I was thinking today how important it is even choosing who sits on certain advisory boards because they're also making decisions. I sat on the for District 6 many years ago, the planning and zoning board, and just economic development. You know, I'm over here voting, you know. So it's really, really important, and it goes beyond that one person, you know, that one meeting a month or what have you. You have to work with staff.
That's true.
You have to be able to work with staff.
Well, people don't realize that those individuals from the community that you select to sit on these boards are representation of you as well.
Yes, and it's important. And so for me, it's really important to be very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but selective. You know, and selecting carefully, because that would be an extension of me. So like I say, it goes beyond someone that is, I don't know, easy to digest. You know, it goes beyond that, and it really sits on what are your values. And I believe that I have a circle of people that I can trust that to carry the values and the integrity that I carry, because I don't compromise that for nothing.
Yeah, I'm saying. So listen, Let's Talk Nation, we're here in the studio with none other than Miss Shannon Curry. She is a candidate for the new District 7 here in Orange County. We are having a great conversation, and we want to talk to you a little bit about with the diversity of District 7. What are some of the top issues that you're hearing from residents coming out of this diverse area?
Yes, thank you for asking that. I've been attending some meetings, and they're so different, like polar different. You know, where there's been concern about flooding in certain areas, you know, not just Orla Vista, you know, but infrastructure. And what is really important to me is when I sat down to develop like my priorities, like things I really want to focus on, attending these community meetings affirm those things. Like, okay, I was paying attention, you know. And so the things that we're hearing that are concerns are infrastructure being unstable. And so if I can put my priorities under one word, I'm going to work through stability.
Mm.
If I can put it all under one word, is stability. And what District 7, the concerns that they have would be housing. You know, you have renters and you have homeowners. So their perspectives are different, but still the cost that our families are taking on because of, you know, the growth of our community. So the concerns that we're hearing is stable housing, stable infrastructure being able to keep up with the economic development and growth, and then public safety and traffic. You know, so there are subheadings that fall under those things. But for me, it's really important to keep those three major, you know.
I could ball this up and throw my questions away now, because you're hitting on all of them now.
Am I? Okay.
And when you talk about housing, got an expert sitting to your left who understands community redevelopment. And so those are some of the things that are high priority right now. And I mean, when you talk about public safety, when you talk about growth and development, those are the issues that are affecting folk right now. I mean, public safety is always going to be one of those issues. So one of the other things that, you know, in preparation for this show, people were calling and they were saying, Rod, ask about her leadership style. So can you tell people a little bit about your leadership style?
You know, what I do professionally, I do professional development training in HR. And so I would always put teams through these surveys and tests about their leadership style. And what I learned about mine is that I'm a collaborator.
Okay.
So I'm a collaborator. I believe in partnership. I believe in being open to leaning into different perspectives and listening to learn. So, and that's not me making it up. That was actually what was. And then another part of it, and it's really, you know, awesome that you asked this question, because it makes me think about, and there was another leadership platform that assessment that I went through, where in my style, it's more calming, but direct. So those are, and that's my style. That's kind of how I carry myself. And so when you think about this role, and when I look at, you know, everyone talks about day one, this is what I'm going to do. You know, day one, I need to get to know the people that I'm going to be working with.
That's right.
You know, that's my day one. Through this campaign process is going to give me the opportunity to get to meet with and listen to more residents, you know, so you go outside of your bubble now, and you go into those areas that maybe you haven't been, you know. And so it's important now to continue to meet with the residents that I want to support. But after election, and we sit down and go through the, you know, the oath ceremony and all that, I need to know, who am I working with?
That's right.
And what's coming down the pipeline, and what decisions have been made that I have to work through until I'm able to make my own decisions based on what the needs of the people are. So I hope I answered that.
Oh, you did.
I did. Okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I analogize communities to church. What I mean by that is, a lot of times when you look into certain communities, you can see that it's a certain group or certain people that are doing the work, that come out to the meetings and do different things like that. Just like in church, there's certain people that get tapped to be on this committee, that committee, this committee. With your leadership style, with your experience, how do you, or can you, engage new people to kind of come in and be more active in the community alongside of you?
I believe so. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think for me, I believe that naturally I pull people in. Naturally, I believe that if I'm able to sit at the table, then there's a spot for you. So, and again, this is me, you know, day in, day out. And so me being able to engage other folks who typically don't participate, then maybe someone's not talking about the things that are interesting to you. So I want to know what interests you. You know, what are the things that are important to you that you would be engaged, or what does it look like to come where you are? You know, sometimes we have this expectation of people that is unfair to them because that's outside of their peripheral, like, you know. So I think for me, it would just continue my natural, authentic habits, which is to, you know, meet people where they are, get them engaged. But most importantly, before I even get to that part, is finding out what's important.
You're right, because everybody has their different interests. You know, I'm gonna try something here, and Brother Jackson is gonna tell me if I pull this off.
Oh, okay. Let me adjust myself.
You know, okay. he tells me if my segues are good or not.
Oh,
yeah. But I gotta listen now. Hold on. Okay,
hold on. So here's where I'm gonna go.
Thinking habit.
Us asking you about your leadership style, and I'm gonna just speak for myself. Me being familiar with you over the years and seeing you when you was a legislative aide and looking at how you took on things, and what a lot of people don't realize is, and you're right, you have to go through those A's if you really want to get things done. You got something familiar with, up until last year, the only person that had ever won a Heisman. This person was the only defensive player.
I was waiting on it. That's your segue. That's the segue. I'm sitting here like, hey, but it gets even. I'm gonna let you respond to that.
You gotta finish the segue. Well, here's the segue. When we talk about the leadership, I remember watching an interview of this individual who was the only defensive person who won a Heisman in the history of the Heisman. But this person was doing an interview for a broadcasting after his NFL playing days was over. And he asked the broadcast executive, he said, I really wasn't looking to go into broadcasting. You know, I'm just curious why you guys reached out to me for this. And you probably know where I'm going to go with that. The broadcaster, this is an executive with NBC or CBS, one of those. And he turned to this individual and he said, you have been interviewing for this job all your life. He said, we watch you when you were in college. We watch how you responded to winning, and we watch how you responded to losing. And then they said, when you went to the NFL, we watched how you responded at the pro level when you won and when you lost. And he said, you've been preparing for this broadcasting job all your life because you had what it took. And so I say that to say, when I look at where you're sitting right now, these chairs that you're sitting here, letting people know what you're going to do for them when you get to District 7, I already knew what you were preparing for all your life.
You know what?
Great.
Nice.
And then you know what? And you may have known it before me. And I think that's a sentiment that my brother had.
Let everybody know who the brother is. Greg, come on, help her out, man.
So yes, so I am the oldest sister of Charles Woodson.
Michigan Wolverine. Heisman Trophy winner, Green Bay Packer.
And Oakland Raiders. Yes.
And when he came, he bought it.
He did. But you know, our household, you know, my mom, she was a single mother, and we saw her. You know, and a lot of people have the story, you know, that was, and so, and my mom always, and she didn't have the means, you know. I remember my mom working for a restaurant chain, and her hourly pay was $3.40, and she was raising 3 children, and we were on food stamps, and I'll tell you, something about her characteristics that passed down to us is that we weren't the products of our community. You know, I remember, you know, my mother went to because we lived in our version of the projects, you know, and I remember she and my neighbor went to the property manager and asked if they could create a garden. And I tell my kids this all the time, that it wasn't until I went to college that I tasted spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, and regular jelly, because my mother made those things. So when I tasted it for the first time, I was like, what is this? Because she canned it. Like, we had to work in the tomato fields. Like my mom, when she left here and worked in factory. Charles retired her out of factory, but it was a requirement for us to work a summer in the factory. She worked in a canning factory so that we knew what she didn't want us to do. But we worked in a factory, we worked in the tomato fields. Like my mom grew her food. So when you went from, what is it, farm to table, that was us. That was us. Other than she purchasing meat, she grew our food. So, but she raised us in a household that she would say, if you want it bad enough, then you do the things to go get it, because I can't afford to get those things for you. So she instilled that hard work in us, you know, from having a car that had no bottom. And we lived in Ohio in the snow, and she would put a cardboard so that our feet wouldn't freeze. But that's how we grew up. And so she grew us up she raised us to be tough, mentally, and competitive. And I mean, we're all athletes. Myself and both of my brothers were athletes. And we still carry that mentality because that's what she instilled in us, that if you want it, you do the work to go get it. And that's how she raised us.
That's a great story. And listen, these are the types of things that when people wonder who is Shannon Curry, and not just the candidate of Shannon Curry, because it's easy to read and say, okay, this is who, but to hear, you know, the backstory, you know, the what makes me who I am, what gives me the determination. I think that's what people really and truly enjoy hearing, and that's what Let's Talk Nation, you know, provides the right candidate that we like to come and sit with us. Doc White, what you got to say, man? You got your jacket on and everything, man.
You know, I'm listening to Shannon talk about her mom, and I know her mom. Her mom is one of the few preachers that ever shut me up.
That's a hard job.
But,
that's a hard job.
And listen, I love Evangelist Woodson because she is true to herself. She is true to who God called her to be. If you meet her, you cannot be confused about what she stands for and who she is. She's just that strong of a personality. A lot of men can't deal with strong women. I love that. I grew up with a family of strong women, so I know what it is. It's because of love and excellence. They want excellence from you. They're not going to settle for anything less. So,
and you know, Doc, you hit on a point. But Greg, I'm gonna go back to something that you just said when you talked about, we're talking to the candidate, but what I also am sitting here digesting and discovering, Doc, you know, he talks about your mother. Everybody's seen your brother. But the other part, when you talked about how you came upon this decision, when Greg and I was on WOKB radio, all I heard was about Steve January. You know, and so you're surrounded by support, but you're surrounded by, I mean, I'm gonna just say that spirit that's just compelling you to do the things that you're doing, and especially in the community.
Absolutely. You know, when you mentioned my husband, I always tell him that I love when he sits down and like really talks to me, and he gives me the history of Orlando and Orange County, like to the depth of, you know, there used to be an oak tree right there on the corner, you know, and when I get lost, you know, before I really started using GPS, he would say, I'm just going to get out the car and let you find your way home. And, you know, and I'm like, wait a minute, what oak tree was at the corner or whatever. But just to hear how he can recall the growth of Orlando and Orange County and the economic development and Disney and I-4 in the orange groves. And so I've been so blessed to be surrounded by these individuals.
And the fact that he has been a pioneer in this community as well. So, I mean,
absolutely.
I'm just, you have the support that you have, I mean, that you need. And what we want to do at Let's Talk Nation is we want to make sure that those folk who are watching here, I mean, and by the way, I know Greg mentioned that phone number earlier. If you have anything to say about Miss Shannon Curry, please dial in 407-921-6195.
So, Brother Love, let's give her some rapid fire real quick and just give her quick thoughts on some of these topics. You want to start or you want me to go?
Go ahead, Brother Jackson.
Let's start
Wait. What about the volleyball team? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so now you're getting me excited because I'm talking about sports. About 6 years ago, maybe before that, I was a parent of volleyball girls, and I always witnessed like my daughter being the only one of color on their team, and you'll see sprinkles when you go to those AAU circuits, or even in our school district. You see all this talent until you get to those games of our Black schools, and then it's like, oh, they're so talented, and then they lose horribly. And so I started my own program.
Oh, wow.
I started my own program, and so we have a successful program that's been in existence in the Rosemont area, where we have about 30 plus girls, and we have a year-round volleyball program.
So this is AAU?
AAU,
Okay.
yes.
Nice.
So
Very
we year-round with skills and drills training, and our ultimate goal was to prepare these young ladies to just be strong-willed individuals, teach them the sport, build faith in them. Some girls never had a Bible before, so we are praying with them. And I always tell parents, if you don't believe, this might not be the place for you, because I'm going to pray over your baby. Yeah. But really just teaching them not just about being competitive, but to build them up emotionally and spiritually and physically, and teach the game to them. And it got to a point where we, like I said, we started as skills and drills, just showing up and seeing who shows up, to where it just became more and more consistent, and then it became more and more intentional, to where we have a full functioning volleyball program. And based on the AAU circuit, we are the only Black and brown volleyball program in Central Florida. And it's wonderful. Our girls are amazing. And so we train from 10 years old to 18, and we can take younger, but our thing is usually around 10 they can follow instructions, because volleyball is kind of similar to golf. You just can't go out in the backyard and learn it. Somebody has to coach you through it, because it's very technical. And so we have some amazing coaches, and we still volunteer. We're not on payroll.
Man, that is excellent.
We provide opportunity. And so, it's something that I really, really enjoy.
So touching young people, touching young African-American and brown females in our community. That is awesome. I never would have known that.
Yeah.
I never would have known that.
I don't know how Doc knew it, but good. Thanks.
They're not happy right now because I'm not at practice.
So we going to the rapid fire?
Rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. Affordable housing. Thoughts on affordable housing here in Central Florida?
Wow. So it's growing. Our neighborhoods are growing, and we have to be very mindful as we're building these new structures that the infrastructure is able to keep up with it. And really, we got to catch up with it. So we're with affordable housing, the high prices, based on where you are, is really taking its toll on our families. So we really have to see how we can lower the cost of living for these residents, especially in our marginalized communities. It's hard. Let me say this real quick, because we're rapid fire, but I was doing some organizing work, and I remember there was an apartment complex where you had neighbors side by side. One neighbor was paying like $1,200, and the other neighbor was paying $1,800. Like, that's crazy, in the same apartment complex. So when I think about affordable housing, I think about accountability. Like, we have to be sure that the developers, that we're doing right by the people, and I understand, you have to pay rent. I understand that, but the cost to live, I would love to where when you sign a lease for an apartment, you can live there until you purchase a home, instead of waiting till that lease is over and then finding the cheaper discounted rate or what have you.
Every year they're increasing your rent and pushing you out to go and find something else.
Yes. So if we can land on some sustainability, where people can take a breath
Mhm.
and be able to care for their family and their children, then I know that I'm doing something.
I'll tell you what, here's a topic that helps people get to the point that they can afford this, and that's economic opportunity, job creation.
Yes. So many of our communities in District 7 have their business corridors.
Mhm.
So again, when we look at what is coming down the pipeline, you know, in these communities that can bring jobs, and we have to be very careful with that, because with those opportunities, what is it and how will it impact in other areas?
Right.
Because I hate to say it, but if you think about like data centers, if data centers are coming, that may bring hundreds of jobs or bring hundreds of people into a community, but how does that affect the energy costs or the water?
And the labor,
you know,
you
and
want
the
to make
labor.
sure that labor costs are going to be at a point that it's reasonable that people can go and not work a minimum wage job.
So for me, just making sure that we're bringing business into the community is really, really important. And then also supporting like those community resources that can also assist with those things.
Well, you know, in the sake of time, I got to throw this out there: accountability and spending.
Oh my gosh, we got to watch the budget. We have to watch the budget and look at what those line items are. You know, for me, I would pay close attention to that. And again, like I said earlier, knowing what was already planned 10, 25 years ago, that's now coming into fruition, understanding what those things are, and then making sure that we are managing the budget responsibly, so that I know one wave may not float all boats, but can we make sure that the local community has some benefit of, you know, these businesses coming in to be. So it's really, for me, like I said, knowing who's been sitting at the table and connecting, learning, and then understanding what the needs are, because things change. And what decisions that were made 25 years ago may not even make sense right now.
You're right. Brother Jackson.
Yes, sir.
I pass the baton to you. Anything left on our agenda?
I mean, listen, man.
She knocked them out of the park.
No, listen, I was going to say it's very good to see Miss Curry again, but it's also even better to see that she is stepping up and is putting herself out there to serve this community. I think that District 7 would have a gem with Miss Curry as its first commissioner. And so it has been a pleasure getting a chance to re-engage with you and say hello again to you.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
So, and best of luck to you. But the most important thing is tell folks how they can find your information, and if they want to help, either by volunteering or donating, how they can do that.
Absolutely. I need your help. I request your help. Right now we're on social media. So if you go to Vote Shannon Curry, you can follow me there, and then we'll get more information to you. But I'm using that platform right now to let you know where I'll be and how to engage. And then I want you to talk to me there, you know, and then we can exchange, you know, personal information from there. But I really want to hear from you and what your expectation is for someone who is asking for your support for this new seat. But for right now, Vote Shannon Curry on Facebook and Vote for Shannon on Instagram is the best way to connect with me. If I can say one thing, I will be knocking on doors, have been. I need y'all to open the door for me. I want you to open the door, even if you have no solicitation, come meet me outside, because I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to engage. I am taking the route of petitions.
Okay.
So we have 1,046 petitions to sign, and I did bring some. So I want yours. And if you live anywhere in Orange County, I want you to sign a petition to get my name on the ballot, and qualifying is June 11th. And also take advantage of the right to vote that we have. I believe, and I know you can best, both of you can best help me with this, is that I think you will now have to have 2 forms of ID to vote. And that really affects like some of our mature residents, where some of us don't even know where our voter
Right.
registration card is,
Right.
but you need your voter registration card and your a driver's license or a state ID to be able to, to bring that to your voter precinct. So I just want community, be prepared. I don't want anyone caught off guard. You have a right to vote, and that is your way to use your voice to make the statements of what you want in your community.
Hey, well, thank you. Absolutely. And you gave Greg an idea. I think, Greg, our next guest needs to be the supervisor of elections so that they can come and make sure people truly understand.
Absolutely, man. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you for joining us
Right,
on Let's
thank
Talk Nation.
you.
You've done a great job of informing
Thank
folks.
you.
Hey, and don't you shake when I tell Greg this, because he's used to me telling him this.
Oh,
You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get out of here.
Hey, until next time on Let's Talk Nation, join us.